Can you believe it? Just one fruit, something you thought was healthy, could silently trigger a stroke while you sleep. I've seen far too many older adults wake up in the morning, unable to move half their body, unable to call out the names of their children or grandchildren. You believe you're eating healthy, but after 60, what once nourished your body could quietly turn into your greatest enemy. Let me, a doctor with 30 years of experience caring for patients over 50, share with you 12 fruits that could either save your golden years or steal them away overnight. You know, once we step past 60, our bodies don't process food the way they did at 30 or 40. Your kidneys filter more slowly, your liver works harder to handle medications and nutrition, your blood vessels, already fragile after decades of wear and tear, lose their elasticity, and your circulation becomes more unbalanced than ever. That means the fruits you once thought were good friends to your heart and digestion could now cause sudden spikes in blood sugar, throw off your electrolyte balance, interact dangerously with your medications, and quietly lead to tiny blood clots, the kind that can block blood flow to your brain in seconds, especially if you eat them at the wrong time, or in too large a quantity. The risks grow even higher. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you or to take away the little joys of life like fruit. I'm here to help you understand which fruits deserve caution, which ones are your loyal allies, and how to enjoy them wisely so they keep nourishing you instead of turning into silent enemies. Let me guide you through 12 fruits, 12 powerful lessons that could save your health and your independence. Have you ever woken up in the morning and suddenly felt like the whole world around you was spinning? You try to stand, but your legs seem to betray you. You reach out to call for someone, but the words crumble in your mouth, no longer as clear as there. I've witnessed that moment far more times than I can count. Patients who were once strong, full of life, devoted to their families. And then one morning, everything changed. You know, what troubles me most isn't that they ate too much fast food. It's not because they drank soda or smoked cigarettes. It's because they truly believed they were eating healthy. One fruit they loved, pineapple, sweet, golden, carrying the taste of summer and memories of vacations in Hawaii. Who would ever think a few slices of pineapple after dinner could carry a risk? But that is the truth I need to share with you today. I remember Clara, 77 years old, a retired choir teacher from North Carolina. She was the kind of person everyone loved, full of passion, a heart for nature, and a deep love for music. Clara didn't drink, didn't smoke. Every evening, she treated herself to a few slices of pineapple, believing it was good for her digestion, good for her health. But one morning, Clara woke up feeling dizzy. Her tongue felt heavy and her hands trembled so much she couldn't even hold her glass of water. When I met her in the hospital, she looked at me with tears in her eyes and whispered, "What did I do wrong? I was only eating fruit." You see, pineapple isn't the villain here. It contains bromelain, a natural enzyme that in small amounts can help with digestion. But in older adults, when blood vessels are more fragile and the liver and kidneys are working slower, bromelain can interfere with the blood clotting process. What does that mean? It means your blood may become thinner than normal. Now combine that with the natural sugar in pineapple, about 16 grams in a small cup, and your blood flow slows down even more. Especially at night, when you're asleep, your circulation naturally slows and your body is more prone to dehydration. I want you to picture this. You're asleep. Your heart is beating slowly. The blood vessels in your brain are narrower. At moment, a tiny blood clot, no bigger than a grain of rice, begins to form. By morning, it could leave part of your body paralyzed. You might be thinking right now, so do I have to give up pineapple forever? No, you don't have to do that. But remember this, when you eat it and how much you eat matters more now than ever. If you love pineapple, enjoy it during the day, alongside a meal rich in protein to help balance your blood sugar response. But absolutely avoid eating it at night when your body is preparing to rest and your circulation is naturally slowing down. And if you're taking blood thinners or aspirin, talk to your doctor before making pineapple a daily habit. I've seen too many good people, too many stories like Clara's. They believed they were doing the right thing, But after 60, your body is no longer the same as it was at 30 or 40. Aging doesn't make us weak. It simply asks us to be wiser with every choice we make, every bite of fruit, every meal. It's not just nutrition. It's a message you're sending to your heart, your blood vessels, and your brain. You've spent your whole life loving your family, building this life you cherish. Don't let a habit, one that seems so harmless, quietly take that away. Remember this, we don't eat just to survive. We eat to stay healthy, to keep hugging our children and grandchildren, to keep walking strong on these legs. So next time you slice into a golden ripe pineapple, pause for a moment and ask yourself, does my body really need this right now? The wisdom in that answer could save your life. Do you remember those peaceful Sunday mornings? A warm cup of tea, an old newspaper, and a small bowl filled with sweet, juicy grapes? They're soft, bursting with juice, like little gems gifted by nature. But I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, are they really as harmless as they seem? You know, I used to think just like you, that fruit was always a good thing, that nature would never betray us. But our bodies, especially after 60, they're not the same anymore. When you were younger, your pancreas worked like a well-oiled machine. You could eat grapes, and the fructose inside them was quickly processed. Your blood sugar stayed steady, and everything felt fine. But now, things have slowed down. Your insulin responds more weakly. Your blood sugar spikes faster and stays elevated longer in your bloodstream. What does that mean? It creates an environment where your blood vessels, already more fragile with age, start to inflame and develop microscopic tears. And right at those tiny tears, blood clots begin to form. I had a patient once, Mrs. Jeanette Morris. She was 80 years old, a retired school teacher living in Missouri. She loved living naturally, no soda, no fast food. Every morning, she'd sit by the window, reading the newspaper, enjoying a generous bowl of red grapes. She believed she was doing the very best for her body. But then one day, as she was writing a birthday card for her grandchild, she suddenly couldn't remember how to spell the word congratulations. The pen slipped from her hand. Her fingers began to tremble. Her words turned into a jumble of sounds. At the hospital, I diagnosed her with a transient ischemic attack, a TIA, often called a mini-stroke. It's the warning sign of something far more serious to come. Her test revealed a sharp spike in her blood sugar midday and traces of vascular inflammation, a silent process that had been building up for years. I know, it sounds harsh, doesn't it? A bowl of grapes, something you once believed to be the very symbol of healthy living, now part of a hidden risk. But the truth is, it's not the fruit that has changed, it's us. With age, our blood flows more slowly, our vessels lose their elasticity, and the sugar in grapes, even though it's natural, is still sugar. It can turn your innocent little snack into a blood sugar bomb, quietly exploding inside an aging bomb. So what should you do? I'm not saying you have to give up those juicy grapes forever, but you need to learn how to love them safely. Eat only a small handful, about 6 to 8 grapes instead of a whole bowl. Enjoy them during the day, when you're still moving around and your body can handle sugar better. And most importantly, never eat them on an empty stomach. Pair them with a little protein, a few almonds, a slice of cheese, to slow down how quickly the sugar hits your bloodstream. I'm not here to take away your joy. I'm here to help you keep it for longer. I want you to keep laughing, to keep walking strong, to keep holding your grandchildren in your healthy, steady arms. And sometimes that starts with a very small choice, like cutting your bowl of grapes in half. You see, health doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of small habits, repeated day after day, year after year. So let me ask you, are you ready to start with just one small change today? One change that might save you from waking up to tears one morning? There's something strange I've learned over more than 30 years as a doctor. Not everything natural is safe. Sometimes the sweetest things carry hidden risks, especially for a body that's aging. Pineapple, that fruit, who doesn't love it? Its scent reminds you of summer vacations, sunny picnics, maybe even a trip to Hawaii. But did you know, just a few innocent slices of pineapple after dinner can sometimes be the final drop for a circulatory system that's already tired? I remember one of my patients, Mrs. Clara Hughes. She was 77, a retired choir director, a woman with bright eyes and a warm, infectious laugh. Clara believed she was living a healthy life. No candy, no soda. Every evening, she'd reward herself with a few slices of pineapple. "It helps with digestion and keeps me light before bed," she'd say with a smile. But then one morning, Clara woke up feeling foggy. Her words were slurred, and her legs couldn't hold her steady. At the hospital, a CT scan revealed a small stroke in the cerebellum, the part of the brain responsible for balance and coordination. Her tests showed slightly elevated blood sugar in the evenings, signs of nighttime acid reflux, and most concerning of all, platelet irregularities, the very cells your body depends on to clot blood when it's needed. You see, pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain. In medicine, bromelain is known as a digestive aid, but when it builds up in the body or combines with blood-thinning medications, the kind many people over 60 take, it can reduce your blood's ability to clot. That means your already fragile blood vessels become even more vulnerable to damage. And that's not all. A single cup of fresh pineapple contains about 16 grams of sugar, not a small amount for a body whose ability to process sugar has slowed down with age. Then there's another factor most people never think about: pineapple's acidity. That acid can trigger acid reflux, a problem many older adults experience, but often ignore because they don't feel the typical burning sensation. Worse still, when that acid creeps up into the throat and airways at night, it can cause subtle changes in your breathing, reducing the oxygen supply to your brain while you sleep. I know, it sounds scary, but you don't have to throw away your beloved pineapple. The key is knowing how to enjoy it safely and when to stop. Eat pineapple in the morning or early afternoon, when your body is more active and better able to burn off its natural sugars. Avoid eating pineapple after dinner, especially before bed. That's when your digestion slows down, blood circulation decreases, and your body is more vulnerable to risk. And if you're taking blood thinners, blood pressure medications, or aspirin, talk to your doctor before making pineapple a regular part of your diet. You know, we're no longer at the age where our bodies can handle everything as effortlessly as they did at 30 or 40. After 60, every small choice matters. A slice of pineapple, a glass of orange juice, or even a handful of grapes. They all leave their mark on a circulatory system that's already more delicate with time. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it to help you protect what matters most: your ability to stand tall, your ability to hug your grandchildren, and your ability to savor every precious moment of this life. Remember, we don't eat just to survive. We eat to live fully. Every piece of fruit you choose, at the right time, with the right understanding, can be a small step toward keeping your heart and brain safe. There's a fruit people often call water in solid form. It's sweet, refreshing, and brings a sense of purity, like a summer rain. Watermelon. Who doesn't love watermelon? A chilled slice on a hot summer day can melt away the heat and take you back to childhood memories, summers with family, when you still had the strength to run and laugh with the little ones. But have you ever asked yourself, how could a fruit that's 90% water possibly be dangerous? Let me tell you a story. Howard Larkin, 82 years old, a retired postal worker from Indiana. He was one of those kind, disciplined men, walked every day, stayed away from sweets, and chose fruit as his dessert. Every summer evening, he'd enjoy 2 or 3 large slices of watermelon, believing it would help keep him hydrated before bed. But then, one morning, Howard woke up with a wave of intense dizziness. As he tried to stand, his legs gave out, the world tilted, and he collapsed to the floor. At the hospital, his blood tests revealed something alarming. His blood had thickened. His hemoglobin was unusually high, a sign of severe dehydration. His blood pressure had dropped to dangerous levels. And during the quiet of the night, a tiny blood clot had formed, cutting off the flow of blood to part of his brain. You see, watermelon has a natural diuretic, company-C effect. When you eat a large amount in the evening, especially if you're already taking diuretics or blood pressure medications, your body starts flushing out more water. That means instead of hydrating you, watermelon can silently take away the water your body needs to keep your blood thin and flowing smoothly. As your blood thickens, it moves more slowly through aging, narrowed vessels, making it easier for a clot to form. And when it happens, it's often as silent as your sleep. So, watermelon isn't bad, but the timing and the way you enjoy it can make it either your loyal companion or a silent betrayer. If you love watermelon, eat it during the day, when your body is active and your circulation is at its best. Keep your portions small. Just a few bites are enough. Don't turn it into a replacement for water. And most importantly, if you're taking diuretics or blood pressure medications, talk to your doctor before making watermelon a daily habit. We're no longer 30 when our bodies could recover from every little mistake. After 60, your blood, your vessels, and your heart need more delicate care. Do you remember those mornings when you woke up feeling full of energy? Do you want to keep that feeling for many more years? If the answer is yes, start with the small things. Even eating one less slice of watermelon could be a life-saving choice. You see, health doesn't come from big dramatic actions. It comes from small, thoughtful choices repeated every single day. One less slice of watermelon, one extra glass of water in the evening. A little more patience to truly listen to your body. You deserve a healthy, vibrant life in your later years, and that journey begins today, right at your dining table. There's probably no fruit that reminds us more of childhood than the orange. A glass of fresh orange juice in the morning, a few orange slices your mother packed into your lunchbox when you were just a kid. Oranges, the symbol of health, of vitamin C, of warm sunshine on a cold winter's day. But did you know, behind that sweet, comforting flavor, for a body over 60, oranges can sometimes be a two-faced friend. I once had a patient, Mr. Elmer Bryant, 79 years old, a retired bus driver from Georgia. Elmer was a kind man, always wearing a gentle smile. He believed a glass of fresh orange juice every morning was his secret to a long life. But then, one morning, as he stood up from his recliner, he suddenly felt lightheaded. His mouth drooped to one side. His words became slurred. The stroke came silently. No sound, no warning. What happened? You see, oranges, along with other citrus fruits like grapefruit, contain a natural compound called furanocoumarin. This compound can interfere with how the liver processes certain medications. For someone like Elmer, who was taking blood pressure meds, statins, and blood thinners, furanocoumarin slowed down the breakdown of those drugs. As a result, the levels of medication in his blood climbed to dangerous levels. Elmer's blood pressure dropped too low, his blood flow became erratic, and in the quiet of the night, a tiny blood clot formed. Unknown. If you can just dream and your spirit a single special in time, if you would not know the people inside and what they do until it was too late. Do may have that point for the health as you can tell you. Have you ever thought that a natural fruit, one we've been encouraged to eat our entire lives, could quietly disrupt the delicate systems inside your body? This isn't your fault. It's something very few people are ever warned about. After 60, our liver slows down, and the interactions between food and medications become far more complex. That glass of orange juice that was once your perfect dose of vitamin C can now become a dangerous catalyst when combined with certain medications. So, am I saying you need to give up oranges forever? No, but you do need to approach them with the wisdom that comes with age. Enjoy oranges in moderation, just one or two segments instead of a whole fruit or a full glass of juice. Eat them during the day and never take them alongside your medications. And if you're on statins, blood pressure meds, or aspirin, talk to your doctor before making that morning glass of orange juice a daily ritual. You see, when we were young, our bodies were like brand new machines, strong, resilient, almost unbreakable. But after 60 years, that machine has worn down. Every gear needs a little more careful lubrication. Everything you put into your body, whether it's a pill or a slice of orange, leaves its mark. Make sure those marks are good ones. You don't have to give up life's little joys, but enjoy them wisely so you can keep smiling, keep standing strong, and keep hugging those you love for many more years to come. There's a saying you and I have probably heard all our lives: an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I used to laugh at that saying back when I was a young medical student. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But after more than 30 years working with patients over 60, I've learned an important truth. An apple a day doesn't always keep the doctor away. Sometimes, it's the very reason you end up meeting us in the emergency room. I think of Mrs. Louise Hammond, 81 years old, a well-respected woman from Pennsylvania. She loved apples. Every afternoon after her daily walk, she would enjoy a large Honeycrisp apple. No cakes, no soda, just fresh fruit. She believed she was doing the very best for her body. And honestly, I used to believe that too, until the day she was admitted to the hospital. You see, many apples today, like Honeycrisp, Fuji, Gala, have been bred to be sweeter, crispier, and more visually appealing. But that very sweetness can send your blood sugar soaring like a bullet train. For younger people, their pancreas and blood vessels can handle those spikes and drops. But at our age, when vessels are narrower and insulin responds more slowly, those rapid fluctuations are like waves pounding on an old seawall. The result? Vascular inflammation, micro tears, and silent blood clots forming in the background. Mrs. Louise was lucky. Her stroke was mild. It left her with a slight tremor in her hand and some short-term memory issues. And she said something to me that I'll never forget. I just wanted to eat healthy and live longer. But maybe I don't understand my body anymore. And that's the real issue, isn't it? After 60, our bodies don't process food the same way they did at 30 or 40. Those sweet fruits, seemingly innocent, can turn into a blood sugar trap if we don't eat them wisely. The good news is, not all apples are like that. Green apples like Granny Smith have lower sugar content and are packed with polyphenols, compounds that help protect your blood vessels and your memory. And here's a little tip from me. Enjoy your apple with a bit of protein or healthy fat, like almond butter or a slice of cheese. This simple habit slows down sugar absorption and helps keep your blood sugar steady. You see, we don't need to give up apples. We don't need to let go of the simple joys, like a quiet afternoon snack. What we need is to eat with understanding. An understanding born from loving the body that has carried us through so many seasons of sun and rain. You've spent a lifetime caring for your family. Now it's time to care for yourself. One apple, one meal, one small choice at a time. Each can be a step toward protecting your brain and your heart. Cherries, those ruby red gems, juicy, sweet, with a slight tartness that lingers on your tongue. They always remind me of summer, picnics in the park, the smell of fresh cherry pies, and rainy afternoons spent by the window, savoring them one by one. Cherries, often seen as a symbol of health, anti-inflammation, and heart protection. But did you know, sometimes even the healthiest things can quietly stir up a storm inside your body? Take Mr. Daniel Rhodes, 84 years old, a retired railroad worker from Illinois. He's the kind of man you might meet at any small-town cafe, warm, cheerful, always mindful of his health. After a mild heart attack, his doctor prescribed him a low-dose aspirin each day, along with statins and blood pressure research medication. To ease his arthritis naturally, Daniel turned to what he called nature's dessert. Every evening, a small bowl of cherries. You see, cherries contain a natural compound called salicylates, a natural blood thinner that works much like aspirin. That might sound wonderful, unless you're already taking blood-thinning medication. This combination can make your blood too thin, turning your tiny, delicate blood vessels into fragile threads, more prone to leaking. Daniel had no idea. The headaches and dizziness were just early signs. A few hours later, he was rushed to the ER with a hemorrhagic stroke. Blood had begun leaking from a small vessel in his brain. Thankfully, he survived. But he had to relearn how to speak from scratch, and his cane has now become a constant companion. Cherries aren't the enemy, but if you're on aspirin, warfarin, or other anticoagulants, even a handful of cherries each evening could push your blood past the safe threshold. Enjoy cherries in moderation, just a few, not a whole bowl. Avoid concentrated cherry juice or cherry extract capsules. They pack much higher levels of salicylates. And most importantly, always check with your doctor before making cherries a daily habit. You've lived through many summers, seen so much change, and now your body is quietly telling you, treat me more gently, more thoughtfully. You can still enjoy the taste of cherries as long as you choose the right timing, the right portion, and the wisdom that comes with age. You see, good health doesn't come from stripping away all the little joys in life. It comes from understanding your body so those joys don't accidentally steal the most precious thing of all, your freedom and independence. Do you eat cherries every week? Have you ever thought that such a small fruit could affect the flow of your blood? Leave your thoughts below. Who knows? Your story might save someone else out there. Strawberries. These little RT-shaped fruits always bring back memories for me. I remember as a child my mother would pick fresh strawberries from behind our house, wash them and set them on our old wooden table. That scent, sweet, inviting, carrying with it the essence of sunny summer days, still lingers in my mind. And today, strawberries are still seen as a symbol of health, in healthy smoothies, in articles about superfoods, even on hospital meal trays. But I have to share this with you. For a body over 60, things aren't as simple as they once were. I once treated Mrs. Elaine Carter, 80 years old, a strong woman from Michigan. She adored strawberries. Every June, she'd fill baskets with fresh-picked berries, freezing them to enjoy through the winter. Every evening, she'd eat a small bowl, believing she was doing the right thing for her health. But one morning, Elaine woke up with numbness in her right hand and an inability to speak clearly. A CT scan revealed she had suffered a minor stroke. Why? Strawberries are among the top offenders on the Dirty Dozen list, the list of fruits and vegetables with the highest levels of pesticide residues. When you're younger, your body can handle and flush out these tiny toxins. But after 60, your liver and kidneys slow down. Those chemical residues can start to accumulate, causing low-grade inflammation in your blood vessels, weakening them over time. Collectively, and that's not all. Strawberries also contain purines, compounds that, when broken down, form uric acid. For people with a history of gout, kidney disease, or vascular inflammation, elevated uric acid can act like a spark, igniting a storm within the circulatory system. So what should you do? Give up strawberries completely? Not necessary. The key lies in how you choose them and how you eat them. Whenever possible, opt for organic strawberries to reduce pesticide exposure. Wash them thoroughly and avoid frozen strawberries from unknown sources. Enjoy them in small amount and don't turn them into a nightly dessert habit. And if you have a history of gout or are on blood pressure medications, consult your doctor first. Now, you see, one bowl of strawberries won't take away your health overnight. But day after day, those small, silent changes inside an already tired body can add up. And by the time you notice, it may be too late. Now, remember, you don't have to give up life's little pleasures. You simply need to learn how to protect yourself with each choice. Let those little red hearts continue to bring you joy, but let it be a safe, full joy, without the tears of a hospital room attached to it. Is there anything sweeter than a bite of ripe mango? That aroma like summer melting on your tongue, that deep golden hue, like tropical sunshine captured in fruit? For many, mango isn't just a fruit. It's a reward after a long day, a sweet natural gift from Mother Nature herself. But I want you to hear this story before making mango part of your daily habit. I remember Mr. William Booker, 83 years old, a retired firefighter from Nevada. He was a man of resilience, always striving to live healthily, morning walks, balanced meals, and steering clear of processed sweets. To replace candy, he chose dried mango, believing it to be a smarter choice. Every afternoon, he'd enjoy a few slices of dried mango with a warm cup of tea, never realizing he was creating a silent storm inside his body. You see, mango is one of the fruits with the highest natural sugar content. Just 1 cup of ripe mango contains nearly 45 grams of sugar, more than a glazed donut. For a younger body, the pancreas and liver can handle this surge with ease. But for a body over 60, where insulin works more sluggishly and blood vessels are more fragile, that sugar spike is like a flash flood, rushing through delicate vascular walls and leaving behind microscopic tears. And do you know what happens when blood vessels are injured? The body forms tiny blood clots to patch them up, and sometimes those clots travel straight to the brain. Mr. Booker was rushed to the hospital after collapsing on his kitchen floor. The diagnosis, a mild stroke. The cause wasn't an overdose of medication, but rather the combination of accumulated sugar and a natural compound in mango called mangiferin. Mangiferin can affect the liver, slowing down how it breaks down medications, especially blood pressure meds, heart rhythm regulators, and statins. The result? His medications built up in his bloodstream, causing his blood pressure to drop too low during the night and creating the perfect environment for a blood clot to form. Mango isn't the villain here, but it needs to be enjoyed with wisdom and awareness. If you love mango, have just a small amount, a few slices, and only during the day when your body is more active. Avoid dried mango. Its concentrated sugar content is nearly 3 times that of fresh mango, and most importantly, if you're on heart, blood pressure, or statin medications, talk to your doctor before making mango a regular part of your diet. You've lived through many summers. You've learned how to love your family and overcome life's challenges. Now it's time to learn how to love yourself even more. Even if it's as simple as choosing just a few golden slices of mango. Let every choice you make, from fruit to medication, be a gift to your health, not a hidden risk. Pomegranate. This fruit has always carried a certain, almost mysterious beauty. Those ruby red seeds, like precious jewels, hidden beneath a rough, thick skin, much like our own life stories, beautiful, yet marked by scars on the surface. Many people call pomegranate a superfood, rich in antioxidants praised for heart and brain health. But after decades of walking alongside patients over 60, I've learned something important. Even nature's jewels can scratch a fragile heart if we don't understand them fully. Take Mrs. Margaret Lee, 75 years old, a graceful woman from California, one of those patients I'll never forget. She loved pomegranates. Every morning she'd juice half a fruit, believing she was giving her heart a healthy little gift. But one chilly November morning, she felt dizzy as she stood up from bed. When her daughter came to visit, she found her mother struggling to speak and unsteady on her feet. A CT scan revealed a minor stroke. A small blood clot had blocked the flow of blood to the part of her brain responsible for balance. You know, pomegranates are rich in polyphenols, compounds that can support blood vessel health. But the real issue lies in how we consume them, how much we consume, and most importantly, how our aging bodies process them differently now. Concentrated pomegranate juice, whether freshly pressed or store-bought, can cause sudden spikes in blood sugar. Just one small glass holds over 30 grams of natural sugar. Dangerous interactions with head and blood pressure medications raising drug levels in the blood, leading to dangerously low blood pressure or irregular heart rhythms. And you know, just one night of slower blood flow and narrower vessels is all it takes to set the stage for a blood clot. Does this mean you have to give up pomegranates entirely? Absolutely not. Here's what you can do instead. Enjoy fresh pomegranate seeds, just a few at a time, rather than drinking a full glass of juice. Avoid concentrated pomegranate juice or extract capsules. They're simply too potent for an aging body. And if you're on heart medications, talk to your doctor before making pomegranate a regular part of your diet. You've spent your life caring for so many others. Now give that same care to your own heart and brain, starting with these tiny ruby red seeds. Let them be a gift, not a burden, in the golden years you've worked so hard to reach. After all the stories I've shared with you, you might be wondering, so, doctor, is there any fruit that's truly safe? Something we can enjoy without fear? The good news is yes, and one of my favorite friends for patients over 60 are these tiny greenish-blue gems, blueberries. You see, blueberries aren't just delicious, they're small, but they hold extraordinary power. Low in sugar, so you won't face the blood sugar spikes that come with mangoes or grapes. Packed with anthocyanins and polyphenols, antioxidants that help protect blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and support memory. In fact, a Harvard University study found that older adults who ate blueberries 2 to 3 times a week had a 33% lower risk of cognitive decline compared to those who didn't. And you know what I love most about blueberries? You don't need to eat a lot. Just a small handful, about half a cup, around 75 grams, 2 to 3 times a week is enough to nourish your heart and brain. No fancy smoothies, no expensive capsules, just a simple bowl of fresh or even frozen blue. Berries can give you remarkable benefits. You've spent your whole life caring for others. Now it's time to let yourself be cared for. And sometimes that care is as simple as a few fresh blueberries in the morning, a small, loving choice just for you. Remember, at this stage of life, we don't need to chase miracles in food. What we need are smart, consistent, and meaningful choices. And blueberries, these little blue-purple gems, are part of that journey. Lemons and limes. These small, humble fruits often sit forgotten in the corner of the kitchen. They aren't as sweet as mangoes, as juicy as watermelon, or nearly as glamorous as the superfoods you see on the internet. But sometimes it's the simplest things that turn out to be the most reliable friends, especially when you've already walked through more than half a century of life. You see, lemons and limes contain very little sugar, almost none at all. They're rich in vitamin C and compounds that support your liver's natural detox processes, aid digestion, and unlike oranges or grapefruit, they don't interfere with heart or blood pressure medications. A warm glass of lemon water in the morning, or a few drops squeezed over your food, can support healthy blood circulation, help maintain a stable pH in your body, and most of all, bring a sense of freshness, a gentle start to your day. Not everything good for your health has to be complicated or expensive. Sometimes just a few drops of lime in your water, a little attention, and a handful of good habits are enough to protect your heart, your brain, and your precious golden years. You see, we've walked through 12 different fruits together, some sweet but hiding risks, others humble yet carrying quiet strength. After 60 years, your body has changed. Your kidneys work slower, your liver works harder, and your blood vessels aren't as flexible as they once were. But this doesn't mean you're weak. It simply means you need to love yourself more and love yourself smarter. You know, in the end, health doesn't come from miracles or harsh diets. It comes from small choices repeated every single day. A slice of green apple instead of a sugary one. A handful of blueberries instead of grapes. A warm glass of lemon water instead of concentrated orange juice. You don't have to give up joy. You just need to enjoy it with understanding. We don't eat just to survive. We eat to stay strong on our feet, to hold our grandchildren close, and to keep walking this path we've chosen with pride and peace. Remember this, your body has been with you for over 60 years. It has endured, sacrificed, and served you unconditionally. Now it's time to give back, with wiser choices, healthier habits, and a little loving patience. You see, not all fruits become enemies after 60. There are still loyal friends, small, humble, yet holding the power to nourish your heart, your brain, and the precious memories you carry. Remember that these names, they'll be your trusted allies on the journey to lasting health. Stewberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, low in sugar, rich in polyphenols. These compounds are like tiny warriors protecting your blood vessels, fighting inflammation, and keeping your memory sharp. Stew B green apples, Granny Smith, lower in sugar than their sweeter cousins. Pair them with a bit of protein like almonds or a slice of cheese to keep your blood sugar steady. Avocado, packed with monounsaturated fats. Heart healthy, they help maintain flexible arteries and provide sustained energy. Lemons and limes, these humble friends support liver detox, add zest to your meals, and won't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster like sweeter fruits. Pomegranate, enjoy it mindfully. Just a few fresh seeds, or dilute the juice if you truly love it. Don't let too much ruin a good thing. Golden rules for enjoying fruit after 60. Eat in the morning or early afternoon when your body is bored. Eat, still active, and better able to process natural sugars. Avoid eating on an empty stomach or right before bed to prevent sudden blood sugar spikes during slower circulation at night. Always pair fruits with protein or healthy fats like nuts, cheese, or yogurt to slow down sugar absorption and keep your energy steady. And most importantly, if you're taking heart, blood pressure, or blood thinning medications, talk to your doctor before making changes to your diet. You don't have to give up life's sweet pleasures. You simply need to choose the right kinds, in the right way, at the right time. Because at this stage of life, your health doesn't come from big, dramatic decisions. It comes from the small, loving habits repeated every single day, like the way you choose each piece of fruit to nourish your body and spirit. Did this video help you see fruit differently? Then imagine what we can do for your health next. Subscribe now, turn on the bell, and let's keep walking this journey to a stronger, healthier you together. And don't forget to share this with someone you love. It might just change their life too.